All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Ouran High School Host Club, episode 5.
All right.
Yes, we had the female manager last episode, Renge, and she was a typhoon.
She was a whirlwind of projected fallacies. Yes.
I feel like you used that word very intentionally, but point is, we got a little bit with, not Steven Spielberg and them making a movie and things like that, and it was great, and it was meta and all that stuff, and she caused them to think about, what is your motivation? Aren't your characters...
Who are your characters?
Yes, really feel it, know it, become them, because quite frankly...
She has a future as a DM, I think.
Oh, I think so too, yeah. Although she is a bit too particular with wanting to get her way, and that didn't end well. But it did end with her sort of discovering her true love.
Yes, as she slid into Haruhi's DMs. And,
Haruhi, yes.
Gave a pretty fair shot over there, but it was a bit forceful, thus to the chagrin of Tamaki.
Yes.
So,
Tamaki.
We're going Tamaki, right?
Tamaki, yes. Because she now has a female friend, but this female friend is after other things. So... Will this continue into the next episode? I have no idea.
We'll see. A meta spoiled manager for the club could be kind of fun.
That could be a welcome addition.
We'll have to see. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
So, if last episode was sort of Kyoya focus, which of the other characters do you think we're going to get this episode?
Honey!
Yeah?
Yep.
I could go for some Honey focus too. Seeing him as the mafioso last episode was wonderful.
The Don. The Don of the club.
Don Honey sends his regards. You think you can come into my territory?
Say hello to my little friend!
Mine?
Yeah. Baby, you're my love.
And Takashi really did work well as the sort of the scary bodyguard of... Yeah.
Definitely. The twins. Hikaru.
See, this is actually just part of the opening skit with them performing.
No, this is going to be... Who this?
Wait, no way. Hold on. That looks like Haruhi's old hairstyle.
We will now tell you.
Both fawning over you? Yeah.
Right. Oh no!
What did they do?
What have they done?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Oh yes.
Wow. Wow. I love it. Yeah.
Subarashi. Wow, that transition.
Wow. All right. Your true colors show themselves at last, Tamaki.
Yep. No way, he's been sliding out of frame and into frame.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Their bad boy sells the, you're all toys to us. Yes. Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
っていうかドアなんかあったっけ？猫沢先輩は
Of course not. Of course not. Nekozawa. Wow. The deep lore of the academy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's called being tired.
Wow.
Tamaki.
Oh, oh no. These little trolls.
All right.
Wait, did he drop Bezelnev? I think
Maybe.
he might have.
Oh.
No way in hell.
どっちが光くんでしょうか。
こっちがカオルで、こっちが光る。
ブブー、外れです。
外れてないよ。よく似てるけど、やっぱり違う。
Okay.
光の言動の方がカオルより1割増し性格悪いですよ。
Oh. Ah, the difference has been discovered. You're approaching me.
Yeah. And just like that, they've been turned against each other. An alliance that's lasted since the dawn of time.
Right. Oh!
本当は春日のこと好きなんじゃないの？勘違いしてんだよ。やっぱバカだな、カオルは。
And you're actually just projecting.
Tamaki, oh my god. Oh my god. So she is going to be more involved, just in general. Okay.
Yeah.
人のベッドにいつも入ってきやがって。いい迷惑だ。光が寂しそうだから。
Oh!
添い寝してやってんだろ。
True siblings.
Well, that continued to escalate.
Yeah. When twins or just siblings start pulling out like your mom, you know, insults. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
You know it's over. Oh. Oh my god.
Now they're in the face of needing to differentiate themselves from each other. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Oh no.
Wow.
Here comes Pink. Oh.
Okay.
カオルはブルーなんだ。
ゆうべはせっかく優雅な一人寝だったのに。
Uh-huh.
悪くてさ、何しろ僕が髪をピンク。なんて趣味の悪い色に染める夢見ちゃってさ。
Wow.
Whoa.
That was some range.
That was next level. Yeah. All right. Bring out the stands. Let's go.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yep, yep. Oh my god.
Fight, fight, kiss, kiss. Oh, yeah, somebody's stuff was getting thrown around.
One of the things getting thrown is the vase that was broken, like, in the first
really?
episode. Yeah, I swear, it was the exact same vase.
Just go back to the A lunch.
Wait, they get to have those kinds of lunches? That's the kind of thing that
Are you surprised at a school like this?
でも僕も食べたいからそんな1個ずつかいちごは分け
Oh my god.
どうしよう。僕もらっていいかな。だって僕イチゴ好きだからいいよね。あ、でもヒカちゃんもカオちゃんもイチゴ好き。
Takashi removes that.
That was amazing.
おおハルヒ学食で会うなんて珍しいな
Wow, the dog tail.
Yep.
思わずついてきたんです。
あなた。
Oh my god.
でもハートのふりかけなんてちょっと恥ずかしいかしら。
たとえ恥ずかしいハートの弁当でも俺はためらわずに食うぞ
何を言ってるかわからんが。
What is with his hand being so big?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Have we gone full, like...
I have no idea.
No, the thing where the guys in those stories have the massive hands and everything.
Oh, yeah. BL hands.
Yeah, the BL hands, yeah.
Or Yowie hands.
すごい豪華
Oh my god.
こういうのってあんまり食べたことあ
And just like that, Haruhi started getting corrupted.
でかしたぞヒカル褒美に俺の A ランチをやるからその弁当をよこし
Oh my god, that's
Wow.
genius.
Yeah,
Yes.
uh-huh.
はい
That was amazing. Yep, and there we go. Don't let Haruhi get caught in the crossfire. Yes, I love it.
やっぱり教室で食べよう
Oh my god.
I love this episode so
This is
much.
so good.
ハルヒは別に責任を感じることはないんだよ。たとえ喧嘩の原因がお前の心のことである。
Wow.
明らかに攻めてる
Yeah.
お前に間違われるのもうんざりだし
Oh, here we
お
go.
前なんか大嫌いなんだ
いい加減にしろただの喧嘩にこんなもの持ち込むんじゃないこの喧嘩は二人とも悪いし
Yeah.
周りに迷惑かけるのはもっと悪いよ
Well said.
仲直りしな今すぐ仲直りしないと一生うちになんか遊びに来させないからね
Wait.
じゃあ仲直りしたら
Oh no.
でもいいん
Oh
だ
Oh
no.
god.
You're telling me that this whole thing, all along,
No
was
way.
just to.
No way.
ごめんよカオルシナリオ通り
Oh my god.
お姉ちゃん失格だ
Wow. I love it.
光に怪我で
I love it.
すごく心配したんだからカオル
Julia continues to take notes. This is
Yep.
really useful.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Oh, they're
god.
good. Like
Yeah, they're really dedicated.
だって退屈だったんだもん
Wow.
Bored.
やられた
They got everyone.
Tamaki's just like
ピンクの髪がヒカルくん。
大当たり
Aw.
仲
Cool.
直りしてもしばらく髪の色はそのままなのね。わかりやすくなって嬉しい。
違うよ今日はピンクが薫でブルーが光だよ色交換したんだね
Oh.
You sneaky devil.
Wow.
Did she get you? Did she get
Uh-huh.
you?
Mm-hmm. Because she's always been able to tell.
Oh.
Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
and
right
then
back
standing
like
up like
then.
from the bench.
今
Yeah.
まで世界は僕らと僕ら以外の2つしかなかった
Wow.
That's
初めて
that's really cool.
侵入者が現れたんだ
Mm-hmm. Now. Okay. All right.
Okay.
That was great.
That was hilarious. The fact that they went on that long.
Yeah.
Just to be like, oh, wait, what? Did I hear you say
Ever heard of something called the long con?
the long con? so much easier
Wow.
when you have a partner in crime.
Yep.
All right, the twins
was-
are definitely the ultimate troll
Yep.
devils of
I
this, of
love
this
them.
club.
That was fantastic. That was absolutely like I applaud them.
Yeah,
I
it
applaud them.
worked super well.
Yep.
And the idea that we got this framed within the context of a backstory scene, like not a full backstory, but just a moment where a young girl that's probably Haruhi came up and just had a little bit of a moment of like, hey, would you two like to play? And they kind of took a little bit of that, initial offense of like, no one here is named you two.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, I really like that that's the way they chose to have it there, because then she immediately goes, oh, Hikaru and Hikaru, like,
Yep.
you guys want to play? And then it's well, okay, sure, but you have to be able to tell the difference between the two of us.
Yeah, and I love that because the closest experience that I have with twins was a couple friends of mine, and they were identical twins, and it was quite hard to tell them apart.
Right.
And it always surprised me at how they were both constantly at each other's throats and also thick as thieves.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there was this notion of like always trying to basically compete against each other, set themselves different from the other person, right? See, okay, do you actually know me and not just the amalgamation of the two of us, right?
Right.
But then at the same time, but this is the other person. So this other person is the source of my frustration,
Right.
and also the only one who understands my frustration,
Yeah.
right? Because it's you're in the same pit as I am, but also you're the reason I'm in this pit. So
Yeah.
and I love how the antics and the fighting was played up for the comedy in a meta way, because they're doing this intentionally.
They are.
They are doing a show, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it is part of that process where when you're with someone for so long, right, you fight, right? It's that line from Sorayori that I love so much of, oh, we're in this one room together, there will be fights,
Yeah.
like, and then of course it's done up in some extreme anime ways for our enjoyment, of just them constantly
Hucking
throwing
stuff
stuff at each other, and people getting getting thrown over to it.
Yeah.
Takashi being like, whoa, hold on.
Protect, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
It was great.
I really loved the gag being something that boiled down to a, potentially pretty serious character, thing that they were dealing with since childhood. And yet at the end of it, we realize that they regard Haruhi in this special way, maybe because at that moment, all that time ago, she was the first gatecrasher and was able to tell the difference between the two of them. And since then, she has always been able to.
Right.
Because they're her friends. Like, she really does, understand them in that way.
Yep.
And it's, that's really sweet.
That's really sweet, and it's a great reason for why they would end up crushing on her, right? Because, with Tamaki, for instance, right? He is, oh boy, he has such an ego and so much self-confidence and things like that that.
Yeah.
Of course, he would be like, yes, this girl must love me because all the girls must love me, and this one seems like she might not, so I must make it so that she loves me, right? And I'm sure there's all sorts of other stuff to it too.
Yeah.
But with the twins, it's okay, how much of the sort of, like flirty stuff that they've been doing previously has been just, having fun, right?
Yep.
Messing with Tamaki.
Yep.
Versus actual feelings for Haruhi, right?
Right.
How much do they actually see her as herself, not just as the other person in the club or the one that Tamaki likes, so they can mess with him by messing with her,
Right. I do think that they are messing with Tamaki rather intentionally at times.
Oh, definitely.
But I do think that
it can be both.
It's easier to tell when it's one or the other, like with the homepage. The homepage, I think, is more of an example of them messing with Tamaki because it was Tamaki directly asking them to do a task.
Yep.
So they knew that he would look at that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's quite funny. But also, I do think that they both legitimately have crushes on Haruhi, and it's based in no small part to, that time.
Because
Yeah, in the past, yeah.
Because, like, the whole idea of them thinking it's them versus the world, right? And the way they were so defensive of, like, oh, you want to play with us? Well, there's no the two of us, and who's who and all that. It's the defensiveness of, we need to make sure that you actually see us as people, because otherwise we can't make meaningful connections with anyone, right?
Yep.
Oh, then someone comes along and they're able to, and even when they try and, like, all the little tests that they do and attempts at sabotage and things like that, they see through it. Yeah, it wouldn't fall for someone like that, especially if it's the first time that's ever really happened. Like,
yeah, one of the things that I want to bring up as a potentially, like, funny way that was a way that they were showing the character right out the gate is that they were the ones that instigated the whole idea of people thinking that Haruhi was a boy from the get-go.
oh,
Because Kyoya asks right when episode 1 starts, oh, Haruhi's in your class, right? And I go, yes, he is, but he isn't very sociable, so we don't know him too well. Like, they're really emphasizing the point of that whole thing there. And yet Kyoya
instantly
gets it.
Right, gets it.
But there's a possibility that if they knew Haruhi from back when... Now, this is just a theory, guys. I'm not taking this, like, hard seriously here. But there's a possibility that they did this just to troll everyone...
Sure.
in the class.
Yeah, that is a possibility.
The club.
Well, and even if they weren't, that throws extra meaning behind it, because it's something where then they didn't recognize Haruhi when Haruhi always recognized them.
Yes, that's another way you could look at it. Yeah.
It's either way, I love it. It's really cool.
Yeah, because in episode 1, when they figure it out, quote unquote, I remember it's a thing where they figured it out at the same time, so it's a very clear, like, ba-ding, ba-ding, both lights go at the same time. Oh, it's when they took off the glasses.
Oh, because then they recognize the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha, cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. So then, in some ways, it is a potential thing of where, no, they might have completely forgotten.
But then they're like, wait.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
that could be something that they go into a bit later, too, as well, just to give us more context in general.
And, this is probably one of my favorite examples of the surprise. You already know these characters. Like, these characters know each other when they meet by a serendipitous moment, way later. Because it's something where... it had, the moment back then had additional meaning regardless of who it was.
Yeah, because it still could not be hard. It might not be Haruhi.
Yeah. There's the possibility that it's not Haruhi, and even if it wasn't, right? Even if say they're wrong, right? And they think it's Haruhi, but it's actually not. Who knows, right? That moment was still very important for them.
Yep.
Right?
Because it established why this part of being able to tell the difference between the two of them is a big deal.
Right, exactly.
People would just lump them in as one.
Yep, and it showed that there were people out there, even if it was very rarely, that could, right? So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the catalyzing things that caused them to, over time,
Remember, though, in the flashback, she does not identify one of them as the other. They just ask the question and cut away.
Oh,
no,
she didn't?
No, she did not. That was one of the things that I was wanting to make sure we got actually.
I thought
understood.
for sure she was like, because they didn't say whether it was right, but I thought for sure she at least made her.
She did not gesture to them individually when she did the bit here. I'll show you. Which one is Karu? Can you tell? And then it cuts to the. See, it's more like she looks like just kind of distraught of like I don't know.
Oh, I thought it cut back to it at another point, and it showed.
It does cut back to it at a later point, but that's not with, with her pointing them out.
Gotcha.
Specifically, I'll go to it.
Okay,
here.
which would then just make it even more important that even in the one point when they thought someone might, then in this situation, Haruhi actually does manage to figure out who it is.
Right. In the way they cut back to it, it's that they basically transposed Haruhi over the girl that came up to them.
Sure.
Before,
yeah. Okay.
And then they hold hands in this point here, kind of acknowledging that this is potentially a new moment for that. So,
yeah.
this might be just the starting point of some new character development for them.
And I love the imagery of having the park bench, basically, that they're both standing up from. The idea that basically, in
They're
a lot
willing
of
to
ways,
leave the park bench.
they're willing to leave the park bench. They haven't,
participate.
they haven't really grown since then, right?
Right,
Not that they haven't grown at all, but in this specific area,
Yes.
it's something where they have been stagnant, right? And that
Something
was brought
seen as
up, right,
security.
with the whole idea of this is their first fight. Then that means it could be a good thing. It can, this is a way that growth can happen and whatnot. But then Haruhi's whole observation of they might not know when to stop, things like that.
Yeah, and the more and more I look at this, the more and more I think that might not have been Haruhi at all. And this is just something where they're saying for the first time. So Haruhi is actually the first time that they had a legit gate crasher.
Gotcha.
But calling it of a gate crasher tells us what it is, that this was a fortress that they built up around themselves.
Right.
But the idea that they built the fortress together means that they have to let a gate crasher come through together. And the fact that they held hands and had this moment of like, okay, we'll acknowledge this. This is good. And yet it was, who's the pink hair one? Is that
Right. Yeah. Well, they swapped. So
Yeah, they swapped. So yeah, we should. The pink one is Kaoru and the blue one is Hikaru. So Kaoru has the moment where he
Sort of
blinks and looks over
at his brother.
and
then like that. That was so good because it also addresses the potential issue of, hey, at the very least, there's a triangle here, right? Because even if they don't care about Tamaki at all, right? There's the two of them, right?
Yes, that is true.
How will they handle that, right?
Yeah.
And because it's sort of the same reason for the both of them that they fell for Haruhi, like before it might have just been sort of like, oh yeah, crush, whatever, right? But now it's like, oh no, this is serious, right? But because it's serious in the same way for each of them, they kind of instantly already know how important it is, and because of that, I don't think a lot of the usual sort of spats and things like that might come out of something like this will happen. It'll still probably be a thing, but it'll be different because they're starting out with that mutual understanding, right?
Yeah.
Of, oh yeah, no, she is this for the same reasons that she's incredibly important to me. She's incredibly important to you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so what do we do with that?
Yeah. But the antics and comedy this episode were top notch. I think this might be my favorite episode comedy wise.
Yeah, like it's pretty high up there in terms of the comedy because they really stick with the individual gag the whole way through the episode. And then when they reveal the twist of it in that we were doing this as a stage because we were bored.
Yep.
I love it because I accept it as it being staged completely and I believe it.
Right.
But I also believe that they had to build the foundation for the gag and the fight, the faux fight basically, on legit problems that they have, which means that this is also a good way to have a combined bit
processing
and character development,
which is again just an
played out in later episodes.
Yes, and it's another example of Haruhi being a gatecrasher because even though this is something where they're doing this as a staged performance, it is as a result of Haruhi.
Yes.
So there you go.
Because they both did want to come over to her house.
Yep. Also, I think my favorite single bit of like gag in this episode, which is really, really tough to say.
I know what you're gonna say.
When Honey is doing the thing of the strawberry, but I like strawberries, but you got
Takashi comes over, picks him up, zips out,
and the way it's just
the best.
The way it was like
so good,
so minimalist in like how it was drawn of just his image character thing just slides in and then picks up, slides out. Like
they were doing that with Tamaki in the episode earlier as well. Lots of moments where Tamaki would be like crowded by girls and he like slides out of frame in the background, then slides back into frame.
Yeah, slides over to Haruhi and is like, hey. And the whhole bit of the giant hand, I want to know if that's like a specific reference or something.
No,
because
I can tell you that is a meta thing for yaoi BL novels and stuff like that, where the guys' character designs
usually have the giant hands. But it's that reminded me of like All for One, like amalgamation super arm. Like
I'm telling you though, that's how insane the proportions are. It's just go look online.
No, I've seen some of them and it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is a ridiculous over the top show.
That's true.
It's going to go even more with that there. But This was really funny. We got focus on not Honey, but the twins, which means that they are doing the formula that we thought, though, which means that they're going to be moving around to the rest of the group. And they could be doing this efficiently, in which we would get Honey and Takashi together.
That is true, because Takashi, quite frankly, I mean, hey, the silent types having their moment of opening up, that is very powerful. But I would not be surprised if he can't necessarily carry an episode by himself just yet, because, I mean, his finest moment was you're not helping. Like, you know, like, you're making things worse. You know, like that, like, how many lines has Takashi actually said so far? This show?
Like 12.
Yeah, like 12.
Yeah.
Like, and it works. Yeah. That's his,
like 9.
Right, that's his shtick, and he's sticking to it, you know? But
do we count as a line? Yeah. Because then it's actually more like 4, you know?
If you think about, like, the amount of, like, hard skill that must be put in by all of these characters in order to be hosts in the vein that they are. And then Takashi, who's just got to, like, get the physique right, you know, and how he carries himself, and then just occasionally...
I just need to keep eating right, and,
and then just
those vocal lessons. Because the Takashi's
he's got to have that rich, deep voice.
Right, Takashi's thing is that he never had his voice drop. So he's actually been going to vocal lessons all this time, and he's a premier voice actor. His real voice sounds a bit more sensitive like this, and that's why he connects so much with Honey, is that Honey reminds him of that time of when, you know, he, you know, would get bullied and stuff for being smaller and, you know, having a bit of a squeakier voice and stuff.
But now he's got that range.
Yeah, man, he's got a big physique, you know. Lots of good food.
Oh, boy.
And,
but
time at the gym.
Yeah, I could totally see Honey and Takashi, though, getting a joint,
a double episode,
kind of like
there.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. Info in the description.
Yes, if any that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.